Okay, I want to talk about seasonings and marinades. Right now, you know that in catering, maybe I told you, maybe I haven't told you, I don't teach you to cook. I teach you the principle of cooking. Right? What makes you a good cook is things like timing, seasoning, yeah, presentation. So if I teach you a method, frying, right, or saute, because saute is shallow, is shallow fry. So today's gonna be a saute lesson. Anyway, yeah, right now, in order to make that dish edible, it's how you season it or how it's marinated, yeah. Then timing, right? If it's undercooked, it's because you didn't apply enough time. If it's overcooked, it's because you applied too much time. Quite simple, really, isn't it? Yeah. When you're working with things like raw meat, raw fish, it is very important that you don't touch the seasonings with your hands, because you'll be transferring that onto other things like vegetables and what have you, yeah? So we're going to do a basic curry today, right? So we're supposed to have, this is just a basic curry sauce. It's a madras, it's a mild curry, yeah? When I am using curry at home, I always use a madras, right? If I want it more hot, I can add more curry powder to it. But if I want it mild, I add less. It might sound, oh, that's very logical. But if you buy a mild curry and you double the quantity, all you're going to do is make that curry very bitter. Because the mild curry has very little hot spices, but it has a lot of turmeric. And if you put too much in there, it will make your curry bitter. So if you buy a madras curry, you can't go wrong, because you put a little bit in there and it won't be very hot. And if you want it a bit hotter, you add more, but you won't get the bitterness. All right? So this is going to be the foundation of the curry sauce today, right? So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons, notice, all right? 2 tablespoons, 2 teaspoons. It's not hot, but this is going to be the main flavour. Yeah, because we're making curry chicken and rice, yeah? What we do today, we're going to spread it out. So we do what we can today. What we don't do today, we finish it off tomorrow, because we're going to do, I suppose, curry dishes with different accompaniments and so on and so forth. Right, now, this is a mild chilli. Right, which, yeah, put a little bit in there, a little bit in there. Yeah, because I want to give it a little bit of a kick. But I don't want the customers, if they want more hot, they're going to have to add it themselves. But once, yeah. It's like if you go to Nando's or something like that. If you want more spice, you get the sauce and you add more hotness to yourself, but they cook it a certain way. A little bit chilli. Don't have to, but this is my take on curry, yeah? Cardamom seeds. Right, now, with cardamom seeds, you have to kind of slightly crush it. Get a little crush. Actually, just do that. Just a little crush, right? Just to let it out, and you put it in there. What else is there? Salt. Yeah, salt. Right now, that is my curry seasoning. Then I will season my meat, or chicken, or fish, and leave it for a minimum 1 hour for it to marinate. Otherwise, you're not going to get the full flavour. When you're eating curry, the whole thing, right the way through to the bone, is supposed to taste mwah. Yeah? But you can't do that unless you season it and then marinate it. What we might marinate it is leaving it seasoned for the minimum of an hour. All right? And maybe one day we'll do an exercise where we'll just kind of season one, then we'll marinate one, and you'll taste the difference. Yeah, but not today. All right. So yeah. So now I'm going to take my seasoning, and I'm going to season some chicken legs. Now, these chicken legs, nice little exercise for you. Right, what we're going to do is, along here, there's a line, right? So if you turn it on its back like that, there's a line there, and I'm going to go straight through that line, like that, no pressure, and it just goes through the ball, and I'll show you again in a minute, and it just goes through the ball and the socket. Then you've got your leg and your thigh. Yeah? Now, this is something else I do. I score it like that. Why do I do that? So the flavour, it goes in all the way through. Right? And believe you me, if you're serving that, once you put it on the grill or roast it or fry it, the presentation, it looks nice once it's cooked, believe me, yeah? So, I'll show you again. So, the ball of the socket, like that, just there, you can feel it. You don't really need to cut it, it will just go through and separate. That's it. Yeah? So I'll do quite a few of those, and then you guys will get a chance, yeah? There. Alright. Did I score the other one? No. I knew that. Just checking, making sure you're awake. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? That's 4, yeah? Yeah? You agree? Then I bring my chicken here.
So you didn't score the leg?
Did I not score the leg? No. Excuse me! That's cool. Right.
Come that up in there. Get a small knife, please. Grab a small knife in there, small knife.
Right, so I've added my seasoning, and I can just mix that in there. Right? Now leave that for about an hour or so in cling film in the fridge. Yeah? And that will be, once it all comes together and the flavours start to seep in, then we're going to shallow fry it just to brown it. Then we're going to finish it off in the ovens. We're going to do a little bit of combination cooking. The reason we're going to cook it off in the oven is just to make sure it cooks all the way through. You can do it on the stove, but it's very time consuming. If you brown it on the stove, finish it off in the oven, takes about 10-15 minutes. Yeah? Right? So once that's been done, you might go on and cook the rice. Yeah? Right? Or just prepare the rice. Okay? Right? Or should we prepare the curry sauce? No, we'll do the rice. We'll come back to do the curry sauce, right? So I'm going to wash my hands and have the... Right, so get your chicken. Hold on 1 second, don't do anything. Stay where you are. Just wash my hands. I'm going to introduce you to a word. I don't know if you've used it before or you've heard me use it before. It's called mise en place.
No.
Have I used it before?
No, you haven't.
Right, it means to have everything ready or to have everything in place. when you're working in an office or something like that, you have a waste paper basket and stuff beside you. When you're working in a kitchen, we cannot afford to have bins all over because we're moving all the time and traveling all the time. So we keep our rubbish on top of our workbench, yeah? And so I don't want to see any rubbish on the bench itself. And also try and keep your chopping board clear. So if you finish chopping the carrot or the celery or whatever you're chopping, put it in the bowl or wherever you need to put it, right? So this is a speed peeler. I normally use another peeler. So what I will do is I will peel, and the only thing you need to peel today, if anything, is the carrot. Right, so peel it and look in the dishwasher or in that thing there and get a chopping knife, silver chopping knife. Yeah, or in there, a chopping knife. Right, I'm just going to show you what is a mirepoix. Right, that'll do. Lovely. Go the other one. Get the other one. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Fantastico. Right. A mirepoix. That side, please. Thank you so much. Right. Okay. And that's it. Right. A mirepoix, right, basically is just roughly cut vegetables. When you're making things like soup, stocks or sauces, you don't need to spend a lot of time doing intricate cuts. That will come later because the little fine dices and stuff like that is normally used for garnish. Mirepoix is only for flavour. Once we have made our sauce, we chuck away all these vegetables, yeah? So you'll see, right, tuck my fingers, yeah? And got my chopping knife, and I can do like that. Right, so my fingers are tucked, and I'm using my fingers to keep it stable. And slowly. And I can keep doing that all the way down. Slowly. This is a good exercise for your knife skills. Right? A mirepoix is a mixture of rough cut vegetables. So you'll see once again, my onion, my fingers are tucked, like that. Right? My knife is still on the board, I'm just bringing it down like that. Like that. I can do that. Fingers are tucked. Yeah? Slowly, and there's my mirepoix. Same thing with the celery, same thing with the leeks. Right? What we're going to do, we're going to fry these off with a little bit of butter and a bit of oil. Then we're going to add some flour to it. When we add the flour, it becomes a roux. Then we're going to do the same thing that we did with the chicken. We're going to weigh out some curry powder, some bits and pieces, yeah? All the flavours that you did before, a little bit of salt. Not as much salt as you did for the chicken, because now the chicken's got seasoning in there. You don't add the same amount of chicken salt again to the sauce, because you might end up with a very, very salty dish. And because the chicken is marinating, and because the sauce will have a little bit of salt in it, when it gets to the customer, if they want more salt, they can add it. But you'll have enough salt in that dish for a good dish, good flavours and everything like that, yeah? So your mirepoix. So we're going to sweat off the mirepoix. We sweat off the mirepoix, then we're going to add the curry seasoning, then we're going to add the flour, then we're going to add the curry seasoning, then everybody will have a jug of water. Let me tell you, mise en place. Make sure you have your mirepoix all chopped up, put in a bowl. Have your curry seasoning in a little ramekin by your by your bench. Have your litre of water there, right? Have your butter in another ramekin, your flour in another one. It needs to be something like 40 grams flour, 40 grams butter. Yeah? 25 is too little. 40 grams, and approximately a litre of water. Yeah? So, we will continue after the break. What do you say? There's no point in starting now, and it's too close to 10:30. All right, let me.